Hi, thank you for joining us for the presentation today. Today's presentation is called Introduction to WIPA Services. My name is Kelly Hewitt and I am with Imagine Enterprises. I'm a Community Work Incentive Coordinator. We're going to talk a little bit today about the WIPA program and what services that program can provide. So what is WIPA? WIPA is an acronym for Work Incentive Planning and Assistance. WIPA projects provide individualized, in-depth, employment-focused benefits counseling. There are WIPA projects in each of the 50 states and U.S. territories. My agency, Imagine Enterprises, actually covers the Panhandle, West Texas, El Paso, Guam, and some of the other Pacific territories. The WIPA project is funded primarily by grants from the Social Security Administration. So although we, Imagine Enterprises, is a nonprofit agency and we're able to provide these services to WIPA beneficiaries at no cost, our funding comes from the Social Security Administration. WIPA was created as part of the Ticket to Work Act of 1999. The Social Security Administration realized that there was a need to get this critical information out there to beneficiaries. Social Security beneficiaries are put on these programs such as SSI and SSDI, but they aren't always fully explained the rules and the inner workings of these programs. So that's where the WIPA projects come in, and we can really help you understand the benefits that you're receiving. Social Security has cooperative agreements with 83 community agencies nationwide, one of those being us, Imagine Enterprises. And WIPA projects are staffed by trained certified community work incentive coordinators such as myself. To date, WIPA projects have served more than 750,000 individuals. WIPA is all about work. The mission of the WIPA program is to promote employment and financial independence. There are so many beneficiaries of Social Security disability programs out there who would love to return to work, even in just a small capacity. A lot of them don't do that, however, because they aren't really sure what the rules are about the different programs that they're on. And some people have fought so hard to get on these disability programs that they're really, really worried about messing something up. So that's where the WIPA projects come in. We can actually come in and help educate the people about the rules for each disability program that they're receiving, as well as help you learn how to report that income and other various ways that we can assist with that. The WIPA goals are first to increase the number of Social Security disability beneficiaries who choose to work for pay, even if that's just a little bit of pay, part-time work, or all the way into full-time work. We also support disability beneficiaries in successfully maintaining paid employment or self-employment over time. WIPA projects also provide work incentive counseling that enables beneficiaries to increase their earnings capacity over time and enhance the financial benefit of working. This is probably the most important piece of what the WIPA projects do. The work incentive counseling that we provide is invaluable to beneficiaries. We can help clear up any myths, any misconceptions, or false information that is out there about working while on these benefits. We also can reduce beneficiary dependence on disability benefits and other income support programs. Sometimes when someone becomes employed, even just a little bit, when they've got that extra income coming in, they may not necessarily need those SNAP food benefits anymore, or other programs like that. And so it really just helps the economy as a whole to get people back where they actually want to be, which is in employment and working. We've talked about the goals of the WIPA project, so now let's talk about some of the myths. WIPA projects are not intended to force beneficiaries off disability benefits. We are simply there to help dispel some of the myths of these programs and help people make the transition back into employment. We also do not protect beneficiaries from ever losing benefits due to work. Oftentimes, we have beneficiaries who ease back into the workforce and they begin to work at a point where they actually do lose the Social Security benefits sometimes. We do not help beneficiaries maximize benefits. However, we will sit down and do in-depth counseling with you and try to figure out what level of employment is going to be the most financially advantageous for you. We do not do wage reporting or benefit management for beneficiaries. However, we do work with and train beneficiaries to do those things for themselves. WIPA projects are not a representative payee service. WIPA services are employment focused. We are very much cheerleaders for work. We think that work is a good thing. We believe that it is very good for people's mental health to get out of the house and have a sense of purpose. And so we're just all about employment. As I kind of touched on earlier, we do not report beneficiary information to Social Security or manage benefits. What we do is we teach beneficiaries how to effectively communicate with Social Security and provide support so that they can manage their benefits independently. Now, there are some times when maybe a local Social Security office could be giving incorrect information where we have to kind of step in and help advocate for that, and we will definitely do that. Um, Even before coronavirus, most WIPA projects conduct our work using distance technology. So everything that we do is typically done over the phone, email, through various distance technology, and that seems to work out really good for our beneficiaries. CWICs do not provide employment services or direct support to beneficiaries. However, we do help beneficiaries decide what employment services that will be good for them and how they're going to use those services to make a successful transition into employment. There are a couple of different agencies out there that provide employment services, whether that be private employment networks or Texas Workforce Solutions Vocational Rehabilitation through the state of Texas. CWICs maintain very good relationships with both of those agencies all throughout the state, and we can help make referrals to employment agencies that are going to actually assist with the employment side of the process. So we've talked about what WIPA is and the goals and facts about the WIPA program, but what does WIPA actually do? What can we do for you? First of all, we verify all benefits information. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there who are receiving disability benefits, but they're not actually sure what program they're on. They're not sure if they're receiving SSDI, SSI, childhood disability benefits, auxiliary benefits. So there are several different types of benefits. And of course, with each one of these benefits, there are different work rules. So it's very, very important to verify all benefits information. And that's something that your CWIC can help you do. Another thing that we can do, we kind of touched on earlier, is we can identify and connect you with services or supports that are needed to overcome barriers to employment. So if you need some employment services or you need some retraining, some rehabilitation in a certain area, we can definitely help connect you with employment networks or vocational rehabilitation agencies that can help with that. CWICs also understand very, very well how paid employment is going to affect all of your benefits, your Social Security disability benefits, any state benefits that you're receiving, or local benefits that you're receiving. And so that's a very, very important piece of this, is that when you become employed or when you decide you want to take that first step out into employment, we want to make sure that you understand and you know exactly what's going to happen, and there are not going to be any surprises. We can also identify, use, and help you manage some of the Social Security work incentives. A lot of people don't even realize that Social Security has some special rules built in and some special work incentives built in that allow people to make a transition back into the workforce with some really, really great benefits added into that. So we can help go over those with you, identify which will work best for you, and how to use them. CWICs can also support beneficiaries with reporting wage information to Social Security. We can teach you all the different ways that you can report that information and figure out a way that works best for you. In that, we also help to successfully manage your benefits over time. We analyze healthcare coverage options so that you can determine which options offer the best coverage at the most affordable price. We can often resolve benefit problems and issues as well. Because CWICs sometimes work with very sensitive information or personally identifiable information, we must undergo background checks and receive security clearance from Social Security. The security clearance that we receive is what's called a level 5 security clearance, which means we're kind of on par with government employees or military members' security clearance. So we also have to complete a rigorous initial training and a two-part assessment process to achieve certification. And then we complete ongoing training every year to maintain our certification. All the CWICs go through training and technical support that's provided by Virginia Commonwealth University National Training and Data Center. In order to be eligible for WIPA services, you must be disabled or blind per Social Security's definition. You must already be receiving Social Security benefits based on disability or blindness, whether it be SSI or Title II disability benefits such as SSDI, childhood disability benefits, or disabled widower benefits. The person must also be at least age 14, but not yet full retirement age. Who is interested in WIPA services or maybe not quite sure if you qualify for WIPA services can always call the Ticket to Work helpline. You can reach the Ticket to Work helpline from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 1-866-968-7842. The helpline is going to provide general information about the Ticket to Work program, the WIPA program, and a little bit of information, general information about how work affects Social Security benefits. They also provide a service to screen and refine referrals to the WIPA projects. The Ticket to Work helpline main purpose is to identify individuals who really need individualized WIPA services and to facilitate and encourage the connection. So if you are someone who needs WIPA services, you call into the Ticket to Work helpline. They'll talk to you a little bit about your benefits. They'll talk to you a little bit about what it is that you're needing, and they will get you in direct contact with us. The message that the Imagine Enterprises CWICs really want to get across to everyone is that paid employment and Social Security disability benefits do not have to be mutually exclusive. It is possible to work, even full-time in some cases, and keep Medicaid and or Medicare in almost every instance. It's also possible to work and come out ahead financially, even if your benefits are reduced or even ceased. It is possible to get benefits back again if they're lost due to employment. Believe it or not, Social Security does have lots of really good built-in safety nets and work incentives that your CWICs can help you navigate to help ease the transition back into the workforce. We already talked a little bit about calling the Ticket to Work helpline if you need a referral for WIPA services. So again, you can get started by calling that helpline at 866-968-7842. Or you can contact your local WIPA project, which is us here at Imagine Enterprises. My contact information is there on your screen, Kelly Hewitt Ham, 940-399-7436. And we'll be happy to determine eligibility for services and provide you any information that you need about our WIPA services and which would best meet your needs. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Kelly. We have some questions for you, ma'am. My child did not qualify for SSI due to our family income. She is about to turn 18. Will that change anything?
Absolutely. When a child is on Social Security, or when a child is in a household and they are under the age of 18, Social Security holds the parents ultimately responsible for the care of the child. Therefore, they apply a rule that's called deeming. In that situation, oftentimes they will deem a certain percentage of the parent's income as eligible to the child, which knocks a lot of our young kids out of eligibility for SSI benefits. When your child turns 18, deeming and the rules applied along with deeming go away. So it's very possible that even though you didn't apply before, or qualify before the age of 18, it's time to go reapply once you turn 18, because it's very possible that you could qualify.
Okay, another question. Someone would like to know, do you have to be 18 to be eligible for your services?
No, our services are open to anyone age 14 all the way through full retirement age who is either working or interested in working and also receiving Social Security disability benefits.
Another question for you, ma'am. Are the same rules applied to all SSA programs? Are there any special rules for students who are working?
All of the Social Security programs have very, very different rules. And so it's really important to make sure that you're educated on which program that you are on, what benefits that you are receiving. And of course, if you need assistance with that, you can always reach out to us and we can help you with that. But yes, verification of benefits is very, very important because each program has different rules depending on your situation and what program you're receiving. Most of our young students are receiving SSI because they haven't worked, and so they haven't paid into the system, and so they're not receiving usually the SSDI benefits. So there are some special work incentives that are built into the SSI program that are really, really awesome work incentives for our students. With SSI, when you become employed and go to work, you will report that income to Social Security. And Social Security will do a calculation. It's called Rule 1619A. They'll do a calculation to assess your income, and then they'll adjust your SSI accordingly. There is a rule that's built into this program specifically for students. You have to be a student, you have to be under the age of 22, and you have to be working. But if you meet those qualifications, then Social Security is going to disregard up to $1,970 a month of your earned income. So it's a really, really nice work incentive and really helpful for our students who are working. That allows you to keep most, if not all, of your SSI check while you're employed.
Some awesome information right there, ma'am. Another question. When we are referred to the WIPA program, what does the process look like for getting benefit planning, and how long does it take?
Students are one of our priority populations. So when we get a referral from someone that's a transition age youth, anywhere from 14 up to 26, they are automatically bumped to the front of the line. But for anybody in general, our services don't take a long time. Usually what the process is once you reach out and you contact us or you contact the Ticket to Work helpline and they'll put you into contact with us, we will contact you to do a brief, what we call an intake interview, where we'll just take some information about what benefits you're receiving, what your living situation is, kind of a little background, and we'll kind of determine where to go from there, what benefits you might, what services you might receive. And then if we decide that you need the full WIPA services, we would send you out a couple of consent forms to sign. We would request one record from Social Security. So the whole process from start to finish, or from start to us getting you the information that you need, is about 3 to 4 weeks. But our services can continue on indefinitely as long as you need the information.
We have time for one more question, ma'am. I have often heard that when you become employed, you need to keep at least $1 in SSI to keep Medicaid. Is that true?
That is not true. That is an old kind of a wives' tale that's been going around for many, many years. I kind of talked about the 1619B rule, where Social Security adjusts your SSI check based on your income. There's a second part to that rule that's called 1619B. And what 1619B says is that if someone is employed, if they go to work and they are on SSI and they work all the way up until their SSI check is rounded down to a zero amount, that 1619B rule actually allows you to stay on the SSI program in every which way and form other than receiving a cash benefit. So you're still on the SSI roll, you still receive your Medicaid, everything is exactly the same as it was before, you're just making a little bit too much money to receive an SSI cash benefit. If that changes and your employment changes, your hours get cut, anything changes, then the SSI cash benefit can come right back.
I have one last one. Can a parent refer a child, or how do you get referrals?
For a referral, you can always call into the Ticket to Work helpline, and they can sort of go through and either give you information and referral to the correct program, or if you are a WIPA candidate, they'll refer directly to us. If you want to skip the Ticket to Work helpline, that's fine too. You can contact us directly. I'll provide my contact information, and we'll be happy to help.
That's all we have time for this afternoon. Thank you for attending the Imagine Enterprises session. Each session is being recorded and will be uploaded to our YouTube page after the event. Thank you.